Let's bring in former federal prosecutor Joe Moreno for the latest on this. Joe, you're familiar with this type of highly sensitive material. Do you think this is just irresponsibility, or is there something more nefarious going on here?
Eric, the nature of these documents is really what's key, because they keep being described as classified. Look, they're marked as classified, but whether in fact they are classified or were properly declassified by President Trump is a key issue here. And the president's power to classify or declassify documents is virtually unlimited. It has to be done while he's in office. And yes, there's a process. It's typically done in writing. There are lawyers involved. The agency gets to weigh in. But those are processes. Those are not legal requirements. And the fact is, it has never been established in court what exactly a president has to do to properly declassify. So if the Justice Department thinks it's going to bring a case based on a hyper-technical allegation that President Trump didn't follow the process properly, even though everyone knows he had the power to do it, that case either fails in court or it absolutely fails in the court of public opinion.
But there are also documents that are illegal for him to have, even if they're declassified. Highly sensitive documents that could harm the security interests of this country that should never have been taken out of a SCIF or a secure area. What is the chain of command? How does this stuff go from, boxes in the White House under the most secure facilities? They throw them on the Beacons van, the moving guys take them down to Mar-a-Lago? How could this happen in the first place?
Well, see, that's it. That's why the logistics of this are kind of really skeptical, right? Because White House ushers or aides wouldn't just take these highly sensitive documents, which typically are not at the White House to begin with, and then ship them to Florida. That itself is highly questionable. So that's why, look, the safest answer to always is to say, we don't know what we don't know. And there's a lot to be learned here. I am just skeptical that these documents are as sensitive as is concerned about, and they weren't properly classified to begin with.
Why do you say that when the reports say they could involve nuclear weapons, they could involve, extremely highly sensitive information, and if gotten into the hands of the Russians or the Saudis or others, could harm the interests of the United States?
I say it because we've been here before with President Trump, and I feel like we've heard this, walls are closing in, could be the worst case scenario so many times. I'm skeptical. So look, this is serious. I'm not trying to say it's not serious. But whether it's as serious as the New York Times is trying to imply, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, it's not the New York Times. It's the federal government. It's the Attorney General of the United States. It's the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's not the New York Times saying this. It is the fact that there is a federal judge, a magistrate, and a grand jury apparently all behind all this.
Well, they don't know what was in there. They have, and we don't know what their evidence was.
Oh, they certainly do know what's in there. They got them.
Well,
of course they know what's in there.
They didn't know when they went in. And so
what we suspect they know what's in, because that's how you get probable cause.
And we know what's marked on those documents, but we don't know what's in them. And so, again, we'll find out eventually, perhaps. But I'm skeptical that they're as damaging or as dangerous as is being implied.
What do you make of the president's lies, the former president's lies, and those of some of his supporters about intelligence being sent to President Obama, 30,000 million pages and this sort of thing, and the fact that they say have been insinuating that the FBI may have planted this type of evidence? Let me have you listen to a soundbite from Congressman Tom Malinowski earlier on Fox News Live, who says these type of false claims are incredibly dangerous to our democracy. Here's the congressman.
What I'm more concerned about is politicians going on TV and calling federal law enforcement the Nazi Gestapo, calling the United States of America a banana republic. And it is incredibly dangerous to have responsible leaders in this country turning Americans angry and hateful, not just towards Joe Biden and the Democrats. That's politics. That's normal. But turning us angry and hateful towards our system of justice itself.
What about these allegations that can undermine the credibility and the faith in our country?
Oh, I agree with the congressman there. Look, the hoax talk is nonsense. The FBI did not plant anything in Mar-a-Lago. And I believe if they say they got something, it was there and they got it. So, I think, and I agree, you could wrap people into a fury with absolute nonsense, and you should not do that. And that kind of behavior is absolutely irresponsible. What I'm just saying, though, is that we have heard so many walls closing in, beginning of the end stories about President Trump. I'm just saying, look, there's the potential for seriousness there, but I'll believe it when I actually get some more details, starting perhaps with that affidavit.
All right, Joe Moreno, former federal prosecutor. More will be coming out on this story, certainly. Good to see you. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Eric.
Anita?